ďґґ. In this video, I'm going to talk about the... well, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's a growl that doesn't really sound like a growl because it's used in a weird way, but here it is. It's here again. So somewhere like this. So let's have a look. Of course, if it's a growl, it's got to be serum. So here it is. So it's not a particularly bad growl on its own. Anyway, as always, my process went something like... open the sample browser, find some random piece of percussion somewhere, probably like a kick or something, drag it in, find a part of it that you like, and cut it out in the edit menu. Because usually it's only good for the first couple of frames, so you cut them all out. Morph them together using the spectral morph, which I don't seem to have done in this case, but never mind. Then find a warp mode that is good, have it on the macro. Have a macro to automate the level from, so it's silent when the knob's down, but at the normal volume when it's at the top. Great, you've done an oscillator. It's also 2 octaves down, by the way. Then you find a filter type that you like by clicking one with a fun name, and then just find some sort of area of the cutoff that sounds nice when you automate it, and turning up the resonance slightly, so I suppose without the filter. So it makes quite an important difference. Weirdly, I didn't bother to automate the wavetable position in this sound. It just seemed to not be necessary and work without it, but usually I would, like I said before, do the spectral morph and then automate the wavetable position. But I did not do that today. Then go through the effects and bang 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 your way down the effects and doing all the ones that you think sound good. So all there is in this one is a little bit of soft clipping, really doesn't need much talking about there. A compressor, which is basically it's basically OTT. It works the same, it sounds the same, and it's made by the same guy, so presumably it is OTT underneath. Not going to stop me from putting one on the effects chain though. Wait, hang on, it did. There is no OTT. Interesting. And then an EQ to cut out the low for some reason. Yeah, fair enough. A lot of the time it might be a good idea to use the EQ on the end, or the filter, as like an extra filter so for some more interesting movement in your sound. And usually I would use, all the phaser and the chorus and the delay and all that jazz, but not today. Then after I've finished the whole sound and I'm happy with it, I will then add, maybe, if I want to, add some sub, which has its volume automated in the same way as Oscillate A's volume. So it's at 0 when the knob's on the left, and at 80%, which is the normal volume, when it's at the right. And I use this wave, which is just a slightly distorted sine, 2 octaves down. Job done. Most of the time I won't use direct out, because I like the sub to be subject to all the distortion and so on, but for whatever reason I decided to do that today. I decided to do that because this EQ here is cutting out the sub out of the bass. And then I added it back in here, which is, I suppose, sub-separation. A common dubstep technique, which I do not frequently use. Where are we at? Number 29. Okay, so without any effects, it sounds like this. So not too different. We've got vocodecs here, same process as always, mess with these couple of knobs and the wet. Didn't touch any of this, I don't think. Nope. Dimension expander, literally 2 knobs to it. And an EQ, which doesn't do anything. This has moved to the right slightly, so presumably it used to do something, but now it doesn't. Well, there we go, just because my CPU wasn't being taxed enough, I suppose. I wanted to, maybe I was just cold and decided to heat the room. Who knows? So So that's all there is to that, except for obviously automating the macro in the playlist, and this mysterious envelope here, just called Serum 6, which I'm fairly sure is just the pitch. It is just the pitch. If you're going to automate the pitch in Serum, you probably already knew this, but if you're going to automate the pitch in Serum, you need to set these pitch bend range values down here as well, because when you automate the pitch, it will only pay attention to what's here, not what's here. No, it will pay attention to what's here. It only automates by whichever of these numbers is the smallest. So it only automates down by one note there. So that's all it is, just pitch automation, macro automation. That'll do. I'm fairly sure that's all there is to it. I had something else I think I was going to say, and I can't remember whether or not I said it or what it was, so... Oh yes. In non-fruity plugins, if you try to automate a sharp shape like that, it won't work, because it will be slightly smooth, so you'll end up with something slightly similar to that. Because plugins can't respond fast enough, VSTs, it's like a limitation of like VSTs, they can't do that, except for VST3s. So that's the only difference I know about, is that you can do sharp, choppy automation with VST3s, but not with VST2s. So there's something for you. Anyway, that just about does it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.
Hello and welcome to Banana Loaf.